Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be diving into some art. I am nervous as hell right now because I have not streamed art in a long time. Streaming games, that was just kind of easy because I was like, I guess I had somebody to talk to and it just kind of broke that ice. But my nerves are a little rattled right now. Also, because I've had nothing but technical difficulties to finally get this to work. So, I hope everything works out. I hope we don't have any problems whatsoever, and I hope you guys enjoy this art piece that we're going to be working on today. So, grab your cup of coffee and sit back and relax, because we're going to listen to some coffee table jazz from Epidemic Sound and work on some art. Alright, let me get this out, and let's jump on over to this. Alright. So this is the piece we're going to be working on today. I am in the process of trying to build up a good selection of artwork because I would like to have a artist booth next year at a local comic convention. So this is going to be kind of the introduction one. And as far as getting back into streaming art, I probably picked a bad one to get back into because it's just going to be a lot of details. But we're just going to dive right into this and just hope that old habits come back. Alright, so I already did my line art for everything. I did all my shading, my rough sketch. So I sketch everything on my iPad mini and then I bring it over to my iPad, my big iPad, where I do the full illustration. I had to do that for a mental separation, so I kept doing sketches versus full illustrations. So, yeah, I went through and I did my sketch for this. I kind of got a feel for my shading and how I'm going to do things. So we're going to work on the line art today, and if I can get to the coloring, then hopefully we can actually get to that. But if not, that'll be a second stream. But we're going to dive straight into this. So let me go ahead, group all this. We're going to duplicate that, and we're just going to flatten it. Woo! Why you do that? Let me redo that. So I already have... We're just going to take this one. And I've already got that saved on another document, so we're just going to drop this, and we're going to drop the opacity down. Alright. Let me figure this out. I am on the wrong layer. Need to make a new layer. Alright. And we're going to drop down our line just a little bit. So let's see, where do we start out first? Where do we start out? I think we're just going to start with the main focus point, which is going to be the mage up in the corner. And, let's just dive right into the hair. Let's just go ahead and get a difficult portion out of the way. I don't really have a plan for the colors of this just yet, so we're just going to wing it. That's what we used to do back in the day, and everything turned out great. And I may, you know what, let me do a little bit different with my line art. Do a little bit thinner brush. My palm is sweating right now and I cannot grip my pen at all. I also have not drawn on my big iPad in so long that the sheer size of it is disorienting. I used to draw everything on a big art monitor, which I still have that, but it's hooked up to a computer that's not really active right now. That and I kind of got into a good flow of doing things in Procreate rather than Clip Studio Paint. So at some point I'll dive back into Clip Studio, but as of right now I'm going to go ahead and stick to Procreate just because it's super simple, super easy. I could do everything in Clip Studio on my iPad. Like I said, everything is just simple and easy, and I've got a good flow of it. So let's see. That's how I did it. Is that how I want to do it? That's a little bit too much of a cut. So let's give it a little bit of a wave. Let me go ahead and get the hair done first. Let me do the hair and then I'll come back and I'll bother with the facial features. Let's see. I want to have a little bit of a cut right there, and then this is going to be a gap. I'll come back and I'll clean up my line art as best as I can later on. I just want to get the vast majority of things down. Just that way I don't feel like I'm stagnant. I don't want to stay in one spot too long, because what's going to end up happening is my brain's just going to fixate, and we're going to stay right there the whole stream. So, like, see, I could come back and I could like come and sharpen these edges. We're not going to do that right now. But, oh my gosh, how about we get a clean line in? I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a hairline right there. But stuff like this, we'll go ahead and clean up. Any overlapping lines, we're just gonna take care of that right away. And this, I don't like the angle of that. I want to mimic more to what I have sketched down. But I hope everybody's having a fantastic Saturday. Let's see. Alrighty. Mr. Guzzler, or Mrs. Guzzler. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much. This is the full illustration right here, or this is the full sketch. I'm sorry, I can't speak. I haven't streamed art in front of people in a long time, so the nerves are a little rattled right now. But yeah, this is what I'm working on today. But I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. I'm having a wonderful Saturday. I had a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get all this to work again, but it's all working out now. Pretty whimsical. Was this your first time in my stream? Oh, hey! Thank you so much for the follow. I take that, yeah, then yes. Welcome to the stream. It's been so long, I don't really remember a whole bunch of names, so I don't remember who's been here, I don't remember who has not been here. So if I forget anybody, I'm terribly sorry. Okay. I'm trying to remember how I had this. I think I had it coming down. I think I had one small jump across. And it curves over the scarf. Well, let me clean up that. Hey, you're perfectly fine. That's why I kind of like was very aware of pronouncing it. I do try to keep things family friendly around here, but I mean, things happen. People have their own usernames. That's something I can't control, so don't feel bad about it. But I do appreciate your concern. I really do. No, don't apologize. It's all good. Nobody was hurt. Nothing bad happened. Okay, so let's see. Let me do one more line down here. And I think that will cover us for the hair right now. And let's go ahead and just knock out the hat. It's such a simple line segment. So we're just gonna put that. We'll do that. Let me clean up this line. Curve down and curve up. And because it's a wizard hat, we're gonna put these little tiny notches right here. And let's do that. No, I'm not happy with how that looks. It's only because you will never have more funny experiences than saying it hi to people within. I can 100% understand that. Like, I completely get that. Especially like you come into a new stream and nobody's expecting that, and they're like really hyped into the chat, and they're like, hey, oh. So no, I get it 100%. I don't like the way the hat's turning out right now. So we're gonna simplify this a little bit. We're gonna get rid of that notch right there, or I say notch, fold. We're gonna get rid of that fold, and let's curve this down, because that's supposed to look like the band, the top band of the hat. And we're just gonna leave it like that. Promise you, if you're having a bad day, just make a username. Yeah. Reading off a username you're not expecting, I could see that. That would really turn around somebody's bad day. Or it could just be that final tipping point of like, oh, I hate you. Alright, so we got the hat, we got the hair. Let's see, on this layer, no, do not undo. On this one, we will go ahead and do the scarf or hood. I'm not entirely sure what I originally intended it to be. The big puff of fabric around the neck. But if you're trying to chill out, it makes it kind of difficult. Ah, man, it's all good. If somebody gets like a little offended over a username, I mean, if it's a kids show, like it's a stream dedicated to kids, then I get that. It could be very bad, but for the most part, I mean, it is what it is. You kind of should expect that kind of stuff whenever you start streaming online. I do really appreciate the skill going on right now. Well, thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about my drawing skills right now. Or you're talking about my handling of your username. Yeah, I've joined a stream before like that, and they said goodbye. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure I wasn't like taking glory over something that was not warranted. I try to be a very humble person, but I do appreciate that. But are you an artist, or are you just hanging out in the drawing category, or did I just pop up on your feed somehow? I've been out of Twitch so long, I have no idea how things are done anymore. Completely blind on it. I don't like how thick this line is right here. We're going to do a little bit of line cleanup before we go too far, because I will get bogged down in another area and completely forget to come back. I am going to connect this, because we may end up doing a large fill later. Well, I've been trying to get into digital art, but I'm more of a practical artist. Like, I've been painting guitars recently. Oh, really? That's cool. So, like, what's your favorite type of medium? Like, are you, like, canvas, acrylic painting, or do you do watercolor? What type of paintings do you do? I used to do canvas paintings. Sorry, no, I take that back. I used to do traditional painting. I never painted on canvas before until a little while back. But yeah, I used to be completely traditional, and I actually disliked digital art. Now it's the primary form of my creativity. But I've been trying to get back into traditional, and I'm hoping through streaming again, I may end up doing some acrylic paintings. What? Okay, I'm still on the hair layer. Good. Okay, happy with that for now, except for this spot right here. I'm gonna redo that. Most of the time I use spray paint and then acrylics for details. That's really cool. Like, so what's your favorite thing to paint? Like, what's your, like, do you like to do landscapes? Do you like to do still life? What's your favorite, like, object to paint? I'm also gonna redo the ear real quick. I don't like the angle of it. I'm gonna redo the whole thing. Let's just redo that. I want that hair to come more and cover it up because I don't like drawing ears at this angle. Let's see. My skill is nowhere near as good as what I'm seeing right now. The sketch is... Okay. Stop. For me, I think as long as you're making art, then you're doing a phenomenal job. I got bogged down in the whole mindset of I will never be as good as another person, and it completely killed my drive and my creativity. So I would really suggest that you drop that mentality entirely and just make art. Just be creative, because as long as you're being creative, then you're gonna make some amazing pieces. And if you're worrying about focusing on being better than someone else, you're always gonna make something you're gonna hate. But you will still not like some of the stuff you make. There are aspects in this that I still do not like. But it's at a point where I'm like, I don't want to even try to continue on anymore. I just want to get it done because I want to move on to another one. But anyway, I really like drawing strange and goofy things. Like, are you familiar with Santa Cruz skateboards? Yes, I am. When I was younger, I was really into skateboarding. I never was good at it, but I liked it. I'm a slow typer, kind of replying like, oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Even if we were a couple hours into the stream and you brought something back up, it may take me a moment to remember it, but I'll still continue on that same conversation. I'll probably end up coming back and adding a little bit more detail to the trim. Let's see, that's all that matters. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank already. That's all that matters on just having fun. I agree completely. Just have fun with it. Don't focus on trying to be like somebody else. Be yourself. Skateboarding, you said you weren't good, but had fun. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had fun with it. I had fun with it. I fell a whole bunch of times, and then I got into rollerblading. But when I got into rollerblading, it was more of just like, I needed something to get me outside again. I needed something to keep me active outside. So I treated it more like it was a workout than trying to do cool stuff with it. Like I was doing kind of like just skate sessions of 2 or 3 hours. I would go out to the park and just make loops constantly. Put on a pair of headphones, get after it. I was able to get into the zone. It's a wonderful time. I'm gonna remove this. Let's see, that's the sash, so I don't need to add that just yet. I'm going to clean this line up. And let's round that off. Thank you. I love jazz and I love coffee, so this is a playlist literally called Coffee Table Jazz. For me, like back when I used to do art streams a couple of years ago, I played nothing but jazz, and not to sound cliche, but it was a vibe. And it felt like we were all just hanging out. And like anybody who'd come to my stream, it just felt like we were hanging out in a coffee shop talking art. And that's really the kind of vibe I'm going for again. Right now I've got a green screen because I'm very limited on space, but I would love to have a background that just looks like a warm lit coffee shop. That would be fantastic. I would love to do that, which I'm sure I could draw something and put it on the background that looks like a coffee shop. We'll find out. We're gonna do that. I think I need to add a little bit more difference between these, so that way it definitely looks like it's two pieces of clothing. Let me just fix that line entirely. And that will all get fixed once we start doing some coloring in it. I have ads playing. I do not remember having ads. I don't know how much of this, dude, but I really like you. So, oh man, I really appreciate that. I appreciate you just coming and hanging out and chit-chatting with me. I don't do this for glory or fame. I do it just because I like talking with other creative people. That, and I hope I can teach somebody something. How did I have this before? This comes down. Oh man, don't worry about that. I really do appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it. I really appreciate you just coming and talking. Whoop. You know what? Since that is kind of part of the little shawl hanging over, we may not do that. We may not do the like sleeve coming in, but we will have this come out and down. And let's just do that so we have a little bit of definition, and then we need to draw the actual torso. Let's clean up these lines. I don't know if I'm too thrilled with this line right now. The folding of clothing. Let's see. No, not cool with it. Changing it up, we're gonna go down or up and over. That, another fold. And I don't know. No, I'm not feeling that. I know my line's down lower, but I'm not gonna put it that low. Kind of changing my mind on it. That'll work. So you make graphics that are akin to like the Santa Cruz designs. Do you have anywhere that you post your artwork on? Like, do you have an art station? Do you have an Instagram? Do you post your art anywhere? I'd love to see some of it. Whoa. Let me have this cut in a little bit more because it is a different cuff. And I'm not feeling it, but we'll work with it for now. And let's get a couple lines in on the sash to show that it's folding. And then we'll come down here and work on this a little bit. We're gonna bring in a lot more detail into this once we start getting to the colored phases of it. There's a high probability that some of these lines I'm actually gonna go back and erase. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of detail to this now while I'm thinking about it. Have a little bit of a cut. Ooh, I'm not liking that. Good enough for now. Probably should, but I've just been doing it on guitars for myself at the minute. Maybe one day I'll probably start posting, but I can be a little nervy. Yeah, especially with hate on stuff you do. I get that completely. But in all seriousness, you're gonna have hate on anything that you do whatsoever. I do photography, I do art, I do crafts, I do gaming. I mean, I do a whole bunch of stuff, and I get hate from it left and right. I get a lot of good stuff, but I also get equal part bad. It's just kind of how it goes. But one thing I would suggest, if you want to get into posting your artwork, make an Instagram account, for example, and set it to private, and just get used to posting on it, even if you're posting to nobody. You can kind of treat it more like a portfolio. Like, I don't treat my Instagrams like, oh, I'm trying to reach out to people. I'm purely using it as a portfolio. Like, social media is not really social anymore. But that's a whole different topic. We're not going to get into that. But, yeah, you can't take stuff to heart. You just got to do what makes you happy. Like the hat says, be happy, it drives people crazy. But I really do hope that you start posting your art, because I would love to see some of your work, and especially on guitars. My dad is a musician. He's a fantastic guitarist. I mean, he touches a whole bunch of instruments, but his favorite one is the guitar. And I would love to see that. I've seen guitars different design guitars growing up my whole life. So yeah, if you ever post your artwork, please let me know, because I would love to see them. Also, y'all let me know. So this is a different setup. I'm having long story short, technical difficulties. I could not stream on my other computer, so I had to set up on my laptop. So my sound settings might be a little bit off. So if something sounds bad, please let me know. I do have it monitoring in a headphone in this ear, but I can only tell so much. I'll let you know if I end up awesome. I really hope to see your work someday. But don't do it because I want you to. Because I know how nerve-wracking it can be to get into posting your artwork online. Showing your craft and showing that side of you that can be quite intimidating. Let's see, how do I want to do this? That's just a simple fold. That's not a whole bunch of detail. You know what? We're just gonna say screw that, and it's just gonna come down straight. Slight curve. How about that? Slight curve. Sounds fine to me. Awesome. I think I need to actually show the curve down and maybe bring it down a little bit more. I think that looks better. It kind of shows the form just a little bit, and your brain will kind of imply the rest of the curve. So let's see. Let's jump over to the hand now. Let me go ahead and make a new layer because I may need to readjust the size of it. Just 1 knuckle, 2 knuckle, 3 knuckle, and 4 curve. Rotate. Good enough. It's good enough for me. Alright, so let's see, what part are we on? That is the... Go back to this layer. That is this section here. That is that. And... Wait, no, hang on. Am I off on this? I'm off on this. That's what it was. I just did folds for there. So that, and that. And I had the hand going off because I did not want to draw the other hand. And we'll take the rest of it and curve it down. If I can get the right line arc, that would be wonderful. So let's see. I'm gonna go with that. Down, and that will be going behind. Nope, give me my line back. Okay with that? I don't know if I'm okay with that. Let's erase that. And we'll just kind of apply a little bit more form to it. Nope. We're just gonna do a hard cut on it. Just leave it and hope it blends in. Once we get the actual color down, that's not even gonna be visible. Alright, so let's come back up here, clean these lines up because I did go over. And one big swoop down and another swoop down. I'm amazed I got that on the first go. Alright. And last little bit of folds here. Let's see. With digital art, is getting used to the feel of the screen most difficult part, or is it like learning completely new things? So, going from something that's a lot more like textile, like canvas or paper or anything like that, it can be a little bit disorienting because it is so smooth. Like there's really isn't anything to these tips. It's basically just plastic on glass, but they make a screen protector for it called paper-like, and that, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them, but I've tried different ones, and each one of them they end up like scratching off or flattening out, and it completely screws with the way the screen looks. They do have some like quick removable ones, but I really don't like those. I don't want to have to keep track of another part. But paper-like, it adds just that little bit of friction and texture that make it feel more like you're drawing on paper. It's not perfect. I'm not gonna say that. That and when you're writing, like I'm still not used to writing on a screen. I'm still not used to that. Drawing, I can do that all day, but writing on it is still something I just don't do a whole bunch. But it is a learning curve, but it's not a bad learning curve. I hope that answered your question with a little bit more extra detail in it. Let's see. So I'll leave that there. Put one more fold right here. But yes, it's an easy thing to overcome. It's easy to get used to drawing on a screen. like I said, it can just be a little bit disorienting at first. So I've got the whole body down, except for the face and the little wizard staff down here. So I'm going to jump up, and now I'm going to work on her face, and then I'll draw the staff, and then I'll move on to our 2 additional characters. And then I'm debating on if I want to just paint the background or if I want to actually do the line art for it. I've been trying to broaden my horizons on how I actually go about coloring things, but I still kind of fall into old habits. Let's see. For me, it's the same feeling as going ice skating for the first time. I have never been ice skating, but when you put it that way, I can completely get that. Like going from having a little bit of texture and then just whoop, I'd bust my butt so many times. It would be pretty funny though. Alright, so let me make a new layer. I'd say that probably the most difficult part about getting into drawing is learning how to actually work with layers. Into digital drawing. I don't know if I said that or not, but I'm going to repeat myself. The most difficult thing about getting into digital art is learning how to work with layers. Like going from everything is on one layer to having the ability to do upwards of 600 layers it can kind of be a little bit different. When I first got into digital art, I did everything on one layer, and then that's when I started learning about layers, and now I use layers all the time. That does kind of like go hand in hand with like, oh, you need to still be able to do everything on one layer, you don't need to rely on layers, but I don't care personally. To me, I'm making something, I'm making it happen in my process, that's it. But there is a skill to be able to do everything on one layer. I just make so many mistakes that I want to be able to undo that. If I want to do everything on one layer, then I'm going to go ahead and do something on traditional media, canvas, paper, and so on. I'm going to make the nose a little bit smaller. And then I'll come back in and I will add some shading up underneath that. So let me get the form of the head down first. I don't know if I like the curve of that, but let's see how it looks right now. And we may end up changing it. I'm also gonna have, oh no, I'm gonna have to curve the head up a little bit more. Let's see. I don't know. Let me put a little bit more of a curve into the jawline, and we'll see how I feel about it then. A little bit more of an up curve. I think that's the exact same line that I just did. Let me think about this. So that is where the jaw would drop down. Not right there. That's too much. So that, okay, hang on. I'm forgetting how my drawing actually goes. So that's the hair covering that, so I can come up a little bit more if I so desired to. And then that makes the jaw a little too pointed, so let's round that off. I'm not feeling that. I'm finding it's quite hilarious that we're having a nice conversation while I'm using this username. I mean, what are you gonna do? You could go change your username, but you're not going to. Might as well just enjoy the conversation. Let's see. I'm going to just do a little bit of warping to this and see if I can't find the angle that I like. That actually is... No. I was about to say that's how I like it, but... You know what? Let's just go ahead and stick with that. I think I'm good with that. I think I'm just gonna cut this dip a little bit more. I may need to bring the actual bump of the cheek up some more. And I think I'm good with that. It's kind of giving a little bit different look than what I want, but we're just gonna roll with it. I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. I'm really okay with that. Okay, so now let me do another layer, and I'll work on the eyes next. Get a little bit more of an up curve. Do that. Let's draw the eyelid real quick and a single line for the eyebrow. Of course, I may need to bring the eyebrow up a little bit more because we are kind of at a lower angle. And I think that's good. All right, next eye. Let's go up, over, cut down, do a little bit more of an arc. And we'll give a little bit of an overlap. Come on. I may actually, you know what? No. Let me see if I can thicken up the eyebrow just a little bit. I think I'm good with that, and we'll do the same here. Let me shave that down just a little bit. Let's shave the eyebrows. Let's see. Yeah, I've been in some ridiculous situations with people. The most hilarious was a streamer was talking about her dad. Ooh. And I said, I hope you're doing well. And they said, oh gosh. Yeah, that's an awkward situation. I wouldn't be able to recover from that. I'd be, all right, I'm done. I'm also gonna do a little bit different right here. Let's see. I'm not really liking the angle of the eyelid or the eyelash right now. I think it might just be a little too wide. So let me take this, bring it in. I'll kind of give her a little bit more, beady eyes, but I think it'll work. So let me do this in case I need to make a new layer, so if I need to change the position of the irises, I can. I don't want to do complete square. I definitely do not want square eyes. They said it completely straight. Oh gosh. I can really see how if you're in the zone, you wouldn't notice it until like it's already done. Come on. Let me go the other way because I am gonna need to. Oof. I don't know. I ain't feeling the irises right now. We're just gonna stick with the actual lines that I have and hope that they will turn out. If I need to come back and change them, then so be it. Maybe I just need to rotate them. I'm liking the art, by the way. Thank you so much. I was not sure how this piece was going to turn out, but I think it's turning up fairly decently. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build up a good selection of artwork because I want to be a part of a local comic convention next year, and I want to have an artist booth. I think it'd be really cool to have that, to set up and just be able to do like what I'm doing now. Just talk with nerds, fellow nerds, and artists and creative people. Because I also do love cosplay, and I love talking with cosplayers. So I think it's gonna be real fun having a booth. But I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, if I can have 50 pieces of art, like I have stuff that I could set up, but I'm kind of wanting to do like a whole new selection just for this. So that's what I'm going with, making it more difficult on myself. But that's kind of what I want to do. Okay, and let's draw the neck, and that should wrap up the face. Why do I feel like, ooh, hang on. I just now noticed a big problem. My shoulders are not lining up with the rest of the body. Okay, let me think. What can I do? Let me select this. Hang on. So, if I select all of that, let's go ahead and select this. This is the fun part about working with layers. Because I can make a big mistake like this, and I can come back and correct it. That's pretty cool. I think you'd definitely be awesome there. Thank you. I think it'd be really fun. I really do think it'd be a whole bunch of fun. So let me, you know what, give me the advanced, and let's just push this into place. Am I moving the hat too? I do not want to move the hat. So I do need to select just this section here. And let's just push it into place. Kind of make the lower half a little bit wider to kind of compensate for it, so we don't lose the majority of our composition. And I think that will work out. So we'll push this up a little bit more to kind of cover it up, and I think we're good. I think that worked. All right, so let's come back in. Let's make sure that we still got everything working out how we want it to be. I think so. That was the position of the collar. I think at this point we could actually just cover up the rest with hair. So we cover up there. Let's do kind of like, no, because they're wearing the let me do this. I think if I was to just extend the scarf up a little bit more, I can get rid of all of this. Let me get rid of this line. And we'll ditch some of the hair too. Basically what it looked like is, it looked like the shoulders were shifted off from the head, and it did not match up. And let's see. I think without the angle we're at, we can actually cut this over even more. So let's get rid of this now. And I may need to, let's see. I think I'm good with that. Let me do a little bit more work with the hair, and let me go ahead and get rid of all of this in case I do need to shift things around again. So that's her collarbone right here. Let's do a little bit of up curls since the hair would be kind of scrunched up inside. And then we're also going to need to adjust this. So let's do this. So earlier today, my brother and I went to a coffee shop that we love going to in our area. And I spilled coffee all over my lap, and I still smell the coffee right now. Like, just complete random thought, but it's like, I smell coffee. Even though I have coffee right here, it smelled like the coffee from the coffee shop. So like, you know, that's kind of funny. Let me tell that. Thankfully, I didn't spill the whole thing. It was just a little bit, so I still was able to enjoy my coffee. Let's see. Do I want to change this up? Let me do this. What if I sever that? I think I'm just going to have to say screw it and go with that. I think it still ultimately fits overall. I need to clean that up a little bit. Where is the neckline? Here. No, that is not there. It is this one. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And I think that's a, I think if I just add a little bit more details, just kind of make it really look like that hair is tucked up in there. Not too thrilled with how that looks. Can I put a little cut of hair in? How does that look? Okay, that kind of broke up the shape a little bit more. Just adding to the jazz atmosphere, definitely. I think streaming art is a really good idea because it sort of makes you keep going if someone's watching you. It definitely does. And that's also one of the reasons why I decided to get back into live streaming, because like I work on art as much as I can, but I do have a full-time job. So it's like on weekends I usually spend it with family, or me and my brother are off on some little adventure. But this was why I wanted to get back into streaming, was so that way I had that discipline. Like I was not forced, but like I had a greater incentive to continue actually working on art pieces, instead of just like, let me just do a little bit and then put it off to the side and then go do something for a couple hours. Let me do a little bit more and then put it away. So, plus, like it lets me listen to jazz music. I can listen to jazz music anytime, but for the most part, I usually listen to like heavy rock most of the day. But with art, it's like jazz, coffee, relaxed, laid back vibes. That's what we're going for. Let me get rid of this. I don't like that sitting there. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by something on my Streamlabs setup. Just readjusting my windows a little bit more. There we go. Okay, I'm cool with that. All right, continuing, moving on. Let me come back to this, and I'm going to connect this sash a little bit better. And I'm going to bump this out a little bit more. So that way it looks like that the puff from the clothing is actually pushing off. All right. So I think I am good with everything. It kind of looks like she's leaning her head a little bit more forward, but let's see. I may do a little bit of like warp tweaking whenever as soon as I finish getting everything together. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's pretty chill. I really, really appreciate that. I'm so glad you're having fun. That was the whole point. That's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be laid back and relaxed, and people can just come and hang out here and listen to a weird dude on the internet talk about art. All right, let's see. Let me do this. Okay, that's not an angle I can snap to. So I'm just going to keep it like that and jump off. Curve this up, come down. How did I actually do this before? I do not remember. Let's see, it's coming forward. So put that back. Curve this. Can you give me an arc? Yes, give me the arc. Is that how I want it? Give it a little bit of... Yeah, I think that's good. I think that works out, except I do not like that. Maybe I need to make the staff a little bit bigger. Or at least put the entry angle a little bit further down. Yeah, it's a nice way to end my day because it's coming around 9 p.m. Ooh! It's late for you. It's about no, I'd say it's close enough. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me. But I'm real happy I was able to help you relax into the rest of your day. Or the ending of your day. I'm not entirely sure how I want to blend in the line art to that. Maybe if I push this in, it may add to the form a little bit more. I think I'm okay with that. I'm sorry if I keep moving it out. Like, my screen is right here at my face. So if it ends up getting real small, I'm terribly sorry. I'm trying to like stay zoomed in, but also so like y'all can see the whole process of it. Anyway, moving on. Let's make us a arch. I don't like that. There we go. And I don't remember the exact form that I was going for with this design. I think I intended it to look more like it was swirling around. You're very welcome. Let's see. Is it like that? I don't remember. I may be working on a perspective of it that I did not intend to do before. Can I do that? What if I do that? I don't remember. I do not remember. I was gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it. Let's see. Let's cut up and we'll add a little bit more shape to it. And now let's curve it around. Give me the arc settings and we'll do that, come down, and I just gotta tweak the lines a bit. I'm just going for an odd design. That's all I'm trying to achieve right here. Give me arc. Get rid of that. And then I intend to do this looking kind of like a gym setting. So I'll come back to that once I'm actually doing colors. This is supposed to be like a little bit of a opening inside of it, but I need, if I'm gonna do that, then I need to add a little bit of perspective to that. And there's a part of me that feels like I need to extend this line out a little bit wider. Give me the arc. Let's get rid of that. I think I'm good with that. I think I am okay with that for now. If I need to tweak it, I'll come back to it, but I think that's just the design we're gonna roll with right now. I'm lagging out a little bit. I'm gonna check my router. I think something's up. All right. Well, if it ends up not coming back, thank you so much for hanging out with me, but I hope you get things straightened out. Let's see, let me move this down. I think I need to do a little bit more. Now, give me that. let's erase that. I may be cutting too far down on this. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. How does that look? I think it's dropping too much. I think it's dropping down a little too much. I think I'm going to go back to the original one. So just get rid of that. Give me my arc. Thank you. And I'll go a little bit wider with it. I think I can achieve the look that I'm going for with that. And let's round it out. Why not? Let's not do a hard curve. Let's round it out. See if that adds a little bit more organic feel to it. And I think I'm actually okay with that. I think I'm good with that. I think I'm good. Okay, so that's our female character done. So let me go ahead and group this into its own little folder. And now let's start on our next character, this knight. So I'm just gonna jump right in on the helmet piece. I'm gonna be utilizing the like, I'm not sure what Procreate calls it. It's like auto line correction. It's like if you draw a line, so like I can do that, but let's say if I draw that line and I'm trying to get a curve, it'll automatically correct it to a curve, and I can go, but I can kind of adjust that as needed. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be utilizing on this, just because there's going to be a lot of rounded lines. I'm going to do that. That might be too thick. That's too thick of a line. Drop that. Curve up. I'm not too thrilled with how that looks, so let's try to match that line a little bit better. Good with that. And we'll cut this down and curve around. And then we'll just add the connecting point. Do that. And let's do one more. I think that's going to be a small enough detail. You think you're back now? Awesome. I believed in you. I knew you'd come back. But that's awesome. I'm glad you got your router squared away. I think I'm going to just leave that as is, and I'm going to make a larger circle around this. My line weight is not cooperating with me right now. Bring that down some. I need to do more of an oval shape is what I need to do. And then I can add that slight bit of depth to show that it's going to be rotating. And let's erase that line here. Let me come down with that some. You like my hat? Thank you very much. I sewed on a Velcro backing to it because, like, I kind of got, like, I like plain hats. Like, this is I buy the same hat over and over because it's just the best fitting hat that I've ever found. And so once I start using a hat so much, like I wear hats every single day and they end up getting sun bleached. Like this used to be solid black, now it's turning a light brown color. But I sewed on the Velcro backing so I could put different patches on. I got a whole slew of them, and I just keep expanding on that so I can just swap them out each and every single day. But anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I've gotten a lot of compliments on my hats. I got the idea from airsofters. So the whole morale patch. I'm sure they do it in the military too, to some extent. But like, so in the airsoft community, they have a hat that the whole front panel, like a trucker hat, but the whole front panel is Velcro. I really didn't like that. I also did not like the fit of the hat. So I was like, I'm crafty. I can figure this out and do something a little bit more like streamlined and blends in a little bit better. So, lo and behold, that's how this came about. Alright. So let's see. These little ridges may end up coming back to bite me in the butt, but we're going to roll with it. Like that right there. Curve this up. Curve this up. No, give me an arc. I want an arc, not a line. Blend that together. I want it to be a little bit of a different depth, so that way it shows like more of a ridge coming up. So let's do this. That main, you know what, let me go back. Let me undo all this and let me get the actual shape of the helmet. Let me get the overall shape of it. So it's gonna be, oof, that was a terrible line. I think I can work with that there, and we'll just erase back what we don't need. And then I can get rid of this. Although I want to show that depth again, that little bit of shape to it. I can get the right look of it. You like the dabbler of whimsy? It is very true. I am a very odd person and I don't hide that. Maybe if I kick this up a little bit more and shave that down. I think that's kind of the volume I'm going for. Alright, so jump up, and I'm going to curve this one up just a little bit more because I think I am going at too much of a forward angle with that. And jump. I think I need to, since I'm showing the cut over line on all the rest, I think I need to show that, reflect that a little bit more on this side. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. We're gonna roll with that. Okay. And that's the back of our helmet. I may need to do a little bit more tweaking to this over here. Like maybe if I just bring this down. And let me distort this. I'll free transform it. It'll kind of make it a little bit blurry, but I think it'll be fine. And let me go in and erase this down here. I need to continue this right down here a little bit. Give it a little bit more 3D effect. Come back and curve that in. It looks a little janky, but we'll stick with it. We'll roll with it. Why not? All right, so let's do. I'm gonna do this on a different layer in case I need to transform it because I think I remember not being too thrilled with this line. think I'm going too far. So let's see. Let me do this real quick, just so that way I can kind of get a feel for things. So that's cheek, nose would be right here. Center of head would be there. Kind of, sort of, roughly. So I would not actually see the point of the helmet. Or the faceplate. Whatever you want to call it. What days do you stream, or you just do it whenever you have time? Pretty much whenever I have time. More than likely it's going to be on the weekends. I'm going to attempt to every now and then stream on a Friday evening, but for the most part it's whenever I feel like it and whenever I have time, because I'm not going to force myself to do something I'm not going to enjoy. But yes, if I had to say I had a definitive schedule, it would more than likely be on the weekends. So you pretty much can catch me on Saturdays or Sundays. I fully intended to stream yesterday, but I was having so many technical difficulties, I was losing my mind. So I had to put it off to the side. That's gonna be the angle that I'm gonna be happy with. I did not want to put that there on this layer. There we go. There we go. All right. Good, thanks. I've enjoyed the stream. Just wondering when you'd be on next. Hopefully, as soon as I can. That's about the only thing I can say is as soon as I can. But I've really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you so much for sharing your creativity with me and just chit-chatting. I might only be able to stay another 20 minutes because I have some things to do I've been putting off. Go take care of your things. I really appreciate you hanging out. But if you have responsibilities, go take care of those. Go do that laundry. Get it done. How do I want to do this? I may do a little bit of a cut-in visor. I've been saying cut a lot. Thanks, man. I'll try to see you next stream. It's been nice meeting you. It's been very nice meeting you. I hope to see you again sometime. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm good with that. I like that. I may need to do a little bit smaller line. There we go. Just enough to show like a little bit of a breathing vent. And as far as here, we'll just... Since this will be the inside of it, I'm not too worried about putting a whole bunch of detail in there because that's going to end up just being covered in by shading. Let's see. Okay. I think I'm good with the helmet. Design. Although I am going to come back in and round this a little bit because, whoo, man, if that was real, that would hurt. There we go. Okay. So, let's do this. I need to show the volume of the helmet here, so that means I'm going to bring this up. Go. I'm good. I'm good with that. I am... What? Hang on. I take that back. I'm not good. Let me bring this up some. That. And... Maybe, maybe not. I don't want to bring that spike up anymore. I kind of want to keep it a little bit low. Let's see. Can I bring this? Can I imply the shape of the helmet like that and then come back in and adjust things? I think I can. Although I'm going to have to change the line of this just a bit. And by just a bit, I mean the whole thing. I do want to get rid of this over here, and I don't want to show the entire line. I just kind of want to imply the shape of it. And then clean that up, jump that across, redo that because I did not want to, and bring my line a little bit thicker. And yep. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm good. Although, I just now noticed this, but if I get rid of this line right here, then it's going to go ahead and just blend right in. If I get rid of this, I'm going to kind of take this up just a tad. Just a smidge. And I put a little bit of a line there. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna get stuck right there. Moving on, we're good with the helmet. Now we're gonna, let me go ahead and get this group together so that way I don't have to do it later. So, good with that. And now moving on, let's draw the hair. Okay. I heard everything just go quiet in my monitor. I was like, did I just drop out? I feel like I just dropped out. But no, we're good. Draw the ear real quick. I hate drawing ears from the back, but we're gonna go for it. And then I should be able to hide the rest of it with the hairline. Alright. Curve that down. Nope. Do a little bit more, and there we go. Show a little bit. Ah, no, I'm not okay with that. Not good. The fact that that is a hairline right there, I will not be able to just let it be just around. I think I need to bring this in some. A little bit of a holder, ponytail holder there. Cut and jump. Jump that up. Cut this over, come around, and come down. Nope. Okay. That was a whole string of thoughts that just went out on their own. I think I need to adjust this holder a little bit more. Let me get the volume of the hair actually done. So let me get rid of all that. So I want to have the piece of hair coming up. I want to have that piece of hair right there. I want this to come down. Cut and come around, and then we'll add that holder over that. That line looks a little bit wonky, so let's erase that and we will fix it. Then I need to come back over here and clean up this because I did go over. All right. And then we're going to add some more volume to it once we get into the coloring side of things, if we can actually get to the coloring side of things today. Let's see, do that. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. We'll come back in, we'll add the color, and we'll add the volume with the color. I think I need to bring this in a little bit more, kind of make it look like it's really curving in to that ponytail holder. And I'm good with that. Alright. So, let's see if we can knock the beard out real quick. gonna be a little bit jagged because I really don't like drawing facial hair. I don't like drawing full beards. So we're gonna see how we can get this to actually play out. It kind of seems like the more detail you put onto a beard, the less it blends in with the rest. So I'm actually not going to do this, and I'm also going to change this up a little bit, do a little bit more broad design of it. Same with the beard. We'll kind of just blend some of those small jagged lines in together with a bigger one. And same with this here. Do that, and we'll kind of apply a full beard look to it. And then we'll just curve the nose up. Now, I like the shape of the nose, but I'd want to bring this line a little bit more up. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think I'm cool with that. I think I'm good with that. So let me come back and let me adjust this beard a little bit more. I'm not trying to focus in on the actual facial features of it. I think I need to turn the music down a little bit. This one's getting a little bit loud. Let's drop that down just a tad. It could also be that I'm talking away from my microphone. That might be why. Moving on. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it like that. We're not going to get crazy details into it. We're just going to leave it simple. So that way it's not like we're not trying to draw attention to it. We're trying to get just enough there where your brain says, oh yeah, that's a man looking away and that's his beard. There's his nose. So moving on. Moving on to the next section, which will be, well, it'll be the torso. So we're going to give him a bit of a turtleneck, kind of high collar. Give him just a little bit of a neck coming out so that way it fills in the rest. And I'm going to take that beard line, and I think I went too far out. So it looks a little thick for a beard, but we're gonna roll with it. We're just gonna stick with it. Again, if we need to change it, we can always come back and change it. Alright, so moving on to the clothing. Alright, so that is the top of the chest plate. Shoulder pieces. Over and curve it around. Although I want to show that everything is folding over, it's all overlapping. I don't want it to look like it's all just one straight line coming down. So I may need to go a little bit more up on this. And I can do that a little bit more adding that line a little bit higher up. And I think I'm okay with that, except I'm going to drop this line down some more. Because like I said before, I want it to look like it's folding over, not all one piece. And then that is going over the arm. Curve that around, and we'll stick with that. Okay, so moving on now. So I may need to move these straps a little bit in position. That's okay. I'm gonna move this one up. Let's see. I just heard myself drop out. Did I just drop out? I don't think I did. I don't know why this dropped out. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure that I'm still good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm terribly sorry about that. I still show I'm dropping frames. I'm not sure why. Let's see. All right. Okay. We're going to roll with this, and hopefully things won't drop out again. I'm terribly sorry for that brief interruption, but we're going to jump right back into this. I'm not sure where my voice left off at, but I'm drawing the straps on the shoulder pieces right now, so we're going to pick up right there. So I'm not, let's see, yeah, I'm not too thrilled with the contour of that, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I may do these on a, you know what, I'm okay with that one. I'm just not too thrilled with this one. Let me go a little bit over so that way I can kind of see the form that it's going to be taking, like if it was actually wrapping around a bicep. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. Alright. And we'll do that. Add that little bit of bump because it is pulling inward. And we're going to have that fold kind of come over the chest piece. Alright. Add a little bit of fold around the elbow if my palm will stop jumping my screen around. Let's see. Because I had to shift things over, like I had to adjust the mage's like torso because things are offset. Now I gotta actually think about how I want to draw the forearm for the knight. Which I may still just do it to where it looks like he's bringing his arms forward. We're gonna go ahead and stick with that. Whoop. Let's see. Let me think about this. I may actually make it look like his hand is just hanging down. At the very least, I'll make it look like it's trailing off. So let me make a new layer for that. And let me think. I think I can get away with just having it lead off because it's not really a focal point. It's not a big piece of detail. It's just to kind of show that he's standing there and his hand is just hanging out. And the idea is to kind of make it look like his hand is wrapped, like I don't know, maybe like leather wrapping around his arm. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the hand moving off. If I decide to come back and change it, then we'll do so, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on. The whole point is I'm trying not to get bogged down on one specific thing. I'm trying to keep moving on. So let me join that. I don't need to make a new layer. I can stick on this one for now. So let's do back of the chest piece. I'm not too thrilled with that. Let me redo that line there. Correct this. Am I dropping again? I better not be dropping again. If so, I'm gonna change my network. We're gonna keep on moving. I saw the notification pop up out of the corner of my eye. Let's see. Just a couple frame drops. I think we're good. We're going to move on. Nope. Too many backs. Let's see. Trail down. Ooh, I just realized that is not adding up right. So these... I need to move this line. Let me see. Can I just pivot you a little bit? Pivot! I may curve that in just a little bit more. Bring that in. And so the center of his back... More like there. Ooh, I was off. So let's see. Let me redo that. Let me rethink this. Am I really off? So, back of the head, top of the spine, curving around. I was a little bit off. Okay. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to use my lasso tool. And that's all I need to worry about is that right there. Let's use the warp tool and just push this over. And I think I can leave that. I think I'm good with that. So I'm going to leave this line right here for now, and I'm going to make me an additional layer. I'm going to use that and follow it around. Because it's not going to be the exact center of his back, but it's close to it. So there we go. That just adjusted my placement of things. Which now that I kind of look at it, it really makes like the chest piece look really, really tight. Let's see. Is that may have been why I left it. It may have been why I did that in the first place. I'm not sure. Let's see. If I need to fix it, I'm going to be saying that the whole time. If I need to fix it, I will come back to it. I'm going back on my word right now. I'm going to fix it right now. That's going to drive me nuts. No. Give me the whole thing. And let me do that. I think even if it doesn't necessarily look like it fits, I think it needs to happen that way. So that way it gives the actual look of armor not sitting on the back, but sitting slightly away from it. Like, I don't want it to look like it's a t-shirt sitting on his body. I want it to look like it has, like, some actual volume to it. So, we're gonna make a little bit of a creative choice here. And we're pretty much gonna go back to exactly where we were. We're gonna stick with that because now, at least in my eyes, it looks like it's actually like external. It's not a piece of clothing. It's armor. So we're gonna roll with that. We're gonna roll with that, and we are gonna be happy. And I think after kind of talking that through, I think I like the look of that. So, moving on. Let's imply a little bit of the part where the arm goes into, like, the sleeve of the armor. And I think that's enough right there to show that there is a pocket or an armhole that the arm is coming out of. And let's go ahead and just add a strap. I think that's good enough. I think I'm okay with that. All right, so chest piece, done. Let's add some of the folding of the clothes right here because they are kind of scrunched up in there. And let's be honest, every medieval drawing, they always have baggy clothing. Nobody wears tights. I mean, some people do, but not in this scenario. These are baggy clothing. And kind of looking at this, I may end up needing to move the whole arm inward a little bit. So I'm going to do the line art, and if I need to move it, I'm going to move it. So, let's see. I'm going to join these two layers, and in case I do need to move it, I'm going to make this a new layer. And let's see. I need to remember the actual shape of things. I don't think I need to go that high over it. I think that's good like that. Let's do the actual shoulder up underneath it. Where's that coming in at? That's coming out at the base of it. So let's jump the strap around. We'll add the next panel, and then we'll add the smallest panel. And where is that one coming out at? I think that small panel might be a little bit too long. So that's coming out right in the center of it. So that means I got to bring that line for the strap up. I think that's okay. I think I need to move the strap up top a little bit higher. It is a little bit at an angle, so I don't want to make it look like it's stabbing into his arm, but I don't want to make it look like it's too close to where it just doesn't match up. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of clothing folds to where it kind of looks like the clothes are just spilling over it. So here we go. That adds just a little bit of dimension. It kind of just blends it all together just a little bit better. Let's see. I may need to move this bottom strap now and just bring it down. If not, then curve it more. Add a little bit more curve to it so that way it looks like it's actually wrapping around the arm. Okay. I'm cool with that. Moving on. Add the fold, a little bit of a crease, and the whole sleeve. And then the leather wraps around his arms. Okay. I think that's okay. I think it kind of balances out. I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. I'm gonna just shrink it up. Shrink it up. Let's rotate it and move it down. And I think move it back out. Rotate it some more. I think that's good. I think that's good right there. We're gonna leave that there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this on another layer. So if I end up changing my mind, I can come back. That's one of the beauties of working in layers. You can kind of just play around with it as much as you want and not really have any, like, I've committed to this consequences in your art piece. Let me do that. Bring this down. What was that notification for? Oh. Alright, moving on. So we've got the whole top half fixed up. Now let's move on to the belt line. I can get rid of this layer because I don't need to worry about finding the center of the back anymore. Gonna draw the belt and have that kick out a bit. We'll draw the loop for the hip guards. Bring that around and take the belt to the front. That might be a little bit too much. We'll bring that back, cut it in half, and I think that's good. I take that back. I just said it was good, but I lied. So we're just gonna bring that down. Just kind of add a little bit more shape. Or maybe I just need to bring this up a little bit more. Let me go ahead and warp this and bring it up. And that's good. I'm happy with that. I am happy. So let's add a seam there. A little strap going down to the hip guard. And let me make a new layer. And draw that. Bring it down. And we'll just have a small cascading effect between all of them, and we will show the other side because it is at the bottom. Although not like that, that looked terrible. Bring this one down. Okay. It's a little bit wonky, but we're not gonna fixate on that. We're not gonna worry about it. So I need to, because that is, let's see, placement wise, the arm is in front, so I need to erase this line right here, so it's not actually being seen. Let me see. Can I adjust this just a little bit? Make it a little bit wider. Bring that up. Push that down. And then I need to fix this line because I don't like the way it looks. Bring that up. Come down. Chop these away. Do a little bit of carving into it. Cut into that. And I'm not too thrilled with how this looks right here. I don't think it's really matching the look of it, so let's bring this line in a little bit more. I'm gonna leave that there so I know where I need to go back to. And I think that'll work. Right there, a little kick out, or kick in, whatever you want to call it, a little fold in, so that way it shows that it actually is wrapping around. Okay, and I think I'm good with that. Let me come back and erase these straps right there. And I'm not going to do it on the other side because the other side has the sword mounted to the belt. But I will stay, actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and join these layers, and I can finish this out. Although, let's see, where would his actual hip line end at? It'd probably be more up here. So I was wrong earlier. I need to push that more forward. Do that, and I think I need to push this further towards the front. I think that's enough to imply the overall shape of it. And then, no, go back and erase that. Thank you. Yeah, just a little bit of an edge to this right here. Not like that. That looked bad. Erase that. Let me erase that a little bit better because that was nasty. Just adding a little bit more volume to it because it more than likely would end up being a leather strap rather than like a cloth strap holding something like that up. I also just now realized that these lines do not match with the perspective. Not that there really is a perspective on it, but they don't match up. So let's change this. Let's distort these down because I don't think I need to change much of them. There we go, and all I gotta do is link that, clean this up just a bit. And I think I'm good with that. We're gonna leave it as is, moving on. We're not gonna get bogged down. And let's see, you know what? I think I'm good with that for the belt, so we're gonna join that. And let me delete this layer. And now let's jump over and let's draw. I don't remember what these are called. They're like, I used to remember what they were called. They're the same kind of like premise. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. Sorry, the thing just went away. I'm terribly sorry if I botched the name. Lialmu Art. Did I get that right? I hope I did. But thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. And this is the piece that I'm working on today. Sorry, my brain is going off on what I need to do next for this little sword scabbard and what the little like kilt skirt thing is called that clone troopers have in Star Wars. But I hope you have I'm sorry, I can't speak right now. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for the follow, and I really hope you're enjoying the stream. Because you followed, I'm assuming that you're really enjoying the stream. And then, yeah, are you an artist? Are you an artist? I would hope and imagine so if you're in the art category, or if because of my stream popped up on your feed. Moving on, so let's see. Back to this. I think it was called a kama. I think that's what it was. The like waist skirt was called in, for clone troopers. I think that's what it was called. Oof. And I think I'm running out of coffee. I'm almost out of coffee. Almost out of coffee. It's getting a little bit cold, and I'm a little bit sad about that. So we may need to take a coffee break, but we won't be taking one just yet. Want to get to a good breaking point. Let me clean this line up over here. How do I need to do this? Think about it, think about it, think about it, think about it. There we go. Okay. Show the curve in. And I think I need to reflect that on the other side. I may not have to. I think I can kind of get away with that, but let's see. No, it's not gonna work like that. So let me just go ahead and clean this up. Let me go back and erase all of this. Is that the same layer? That is the same layer. Oof. Okay. If I can just imply that the edge is there, I think that'll work out. Give me an arc. There we go. And draw it just like that. Got a few little artifacts on there from my previous line. Clean that up. And just show that it's curving around a bit. I think that's good. I think it kind of bothers me, but I really don't want to get stuck right here. So we're going to say, screw it. It is what it is. Although I do not like how that does not really match up with the line of it. Do I want to have that as a sharp cut? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's see. What if I just do like a soft curve to it? I think I'm good with that. Although this over here, this is not matching with the form. It's supposed to be curving around, not curving down. Curve that. Nope, give me an arc. There we go. And give that a little bit of a soft corner, a little bit of a soft edge. And I may need to do this again. I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I think that's gonna think that's gonna work out. So let me just connect this right here. I think I'm good with that. So let me just add a simple little fold right here, just to show that it's kind of like bunching up, just from the, or the belt's pulling it in. And let's see. I think I'm good with that. So let me draw the legs next. So I think I'm good with the placement of the arm, where I can join it in with the rest of the drawing now. Like, yeah. This arm over here, it kind of was like not really sitting well with me, but I think we're good. I think I'm good with it. I think it blends in just fine. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna move on. We're gonna blend it together, and now we're gonna jump to the legs. But I am gonna do another layer in case I need to modify it. So the pants are gonna be super, super baggy, so it's all going to fold over itself. You can do too many folds on pants and it just ends up making it look terrible. But I mean, there are actually really super baggy pants that just have folds upon folds upon folds. So if that's what you're going for, then yeah, but that's not the type of thing that I go for. I want to have a little bit more realism to it. Like anytime that I'm drawing a pair of pants, if they're baggy, I try to imagine the folds of like how it would be on jeans, because jeans are a little bit more rigid. They're not gonna like fold and bunch up really, really tight and just have layer on layer on layer on layer. Some of them do, but for the most part they kind of have like a little bit more of a rigid fold to it that kind of makes a little bit more sense to me, at the very least. So like I don't want to add a whole bunch of folds and unnecessary folds that just completely take away, because all I'm trying to do is imply the shape of baggy pants. I don't want to have a whole bunch of crazy detail. So I've got enough depth right here, or enough space left, and we're gonna add the boot line just a little bit. Because the wand from the mage is taking up the vast majority of the lower portion of the screen, we can get in between, if we even want to leave that as like a pass-through of the staff. Let's see. I think we're going to go ahead and say that's a pass-through. We're not going to say that that's like a gem of it. We may change our minds later, but this is what we're going to roll with right now. Did I just undo something? I did. Have that fold over. That's the boot. That's the cuff of the boot, and that's where it drops. I'm not going to do a drop right there because it's such a tight space, and it's just going to look like he's standing with his feet pulled in. So, that's our knight. Let me draw the scabbard for the sword real quick, and I guess I can do it on the same layer. That's perfectly fine. We're gonna do it on the same layer. So this is really where the line adjustment tool. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but the kind of auto line correction that Procreate has, this stuff like this comes really in handy. Like, yeah, I can try to draw that line being straight, and I can go back and I can tweak it a little bit, but the fact that I can do that, hold the line, and it will correct it. I covered it earlier, but for anybody who hasn't seen it earlier, I could draw a crazy line like this, and if I hold it, it will straighten it out. So if you have like really bad problems with shaky hands, I had those problems a handful of years ago. I hurt my hand, and my hand was just shaking bad. So something like that really comes in handy if like that's something that you struggle with in art, or if you just want to quickly speed up the process of it. So if you're doing something live like this, then yes, doing that really helps, rather than trying to go like, oh no, I don't like that line, undo, line, oh no, line, no. It's just easier to just go and make a line, drag it across, hold it on the screen, and release. Ta-da! You've made a straight line. That also really helps for perspective. So if you're trying to draw like buildings and trying to set the interior of a room, doing something like that can really help, because I like drawing with perspective lines. I don't like drawing with them like where my lines snap to them. That bothers me because it's never how I want it to be. So I never turn on perspective snapping. I always turn on the perspective grid. I set my perspective, and then I draw my own lines on top using this method. To me, that adds just a little bit more smoothness and flow to the whole process, but I don't know. I could be wrong. That's how my creativity works. Because I don't want to just keep going like, oh man, it keeps snapping to the wrong axis. Let me do this. So, little side tangent aside, we're gonna get back to this. Gonna finish up this scabbard. I want to add that little bit of metal effect here on the base, to where it looks like that's where the point of the blade is at, because that is where it's at. And we don't want to have like a wooden or leather scabbard and it just stabs straight through. So I like the curve, but I don't like how far I came out here. We're just gonna do that. Erase this here and erase these lines. And we're just going to put some little implied lines here to show the edge of it. Like that, I'm good. Alright, so these were just supposed to be some little decorative straps. They weren't supposed to be anything big or structural. So I can kind of add a little bit of a hard edge to that, and then we'll just bring it a little bit on the outside. Although I'm going to do this a little bit better. And I'm going to erase this line. Let me rotate this. Give it a little bit of volume to it. Make it look like it's actually something physical wrapping around rather than it just being like attached to it. And we may end up adding some like, make it look like twine, like some string wrapped around it real tight. But as of right now, we're not going to do that. There's a lot of things like that you can end up doing later on in coloring that would end up making it look a lot better than just line art. Because I could sit right here and I could put line, 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 line. And while that doesn't look bad, when you're going into coloring it, those are lines that you got to keep in your mind for like, okay, this is where my lines are going to be at. So, you could do that. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just not what I'm going for right now. And then also, that would I may end up having to come back and adding a couple little bumps to show that it's string wrapping around if I don't color it like a brown leather piece, like leather strap kind of color. If that's the case, then it's not going to have any ridges whatsoever. It's not going to have any lines. It's going to look like it's just a leather piece folded around it. But we're going to have two of them. We're going to do one small and one big. And I'm also going to erase that second edge. And because it's sitting a little bit further out, I'm gonna bring that corner out a little bit more. Same thing on this side. Just gonna put one right there in the center. I don't want to put a straight line across it because it's just gonna, to me, it's just gonna look weird. So we're just gonna put those little implied lines, and it's all gonna look nice and neat like once it's all colored. All right, so that is our night completed. And let's see, am I missing anything? I don't think I am. There's a full picture for anybody who's just now tuning in. Let me think. We got our characters done. I still have the little character down here in the bottom. I may take a quick break, refill my coffee, and then we'll come right back to continue on with this. Let's see. I don't think that I'm going to bother with doing the line art for my background. I think I'm going to do that more of a painted style where I'm adding onto layers of color. and kind of a little bit more of a sculpting method to it. Like I put my base color and then I'll carve out the parts that I don't want. So that's something that I thought that I was gonna do with the characters on this one, but after I sat down I was like, let me do line art. This one feels like I need to do line art. So lo and behold, we're doing line art, which it's not a bad thing. Let's see. I just went silent for a second. Let me make sure I'm still good. Sorry, I thought I dropped out again. All right. So yes, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna go refill my coffee, and then we'll come back and we'll get started on this little guy down here in the corner. So, put this. Let me make sure that gets charged, and we're gonna go ahead and take a little break. So I hope you stick around and just enjoy this little tabletop coffee jazz playlist that's going on in the background. Let's see. All right, I will be right back. Alrighty, and I am back. Let me switch this back over. Sorry, my coffee pot decided to work really, really slow, so we're back now. I also had to get some water because I'm feeling a little bit dehydrated, but I'm still gonna drink some coffee. Okay. Now that I got some water in me, I'll be good for my next sip of coffee. All right, continuing on with where we left off. We got our mage up in our top left corner. Hang on. Top right. Sorry, I'm backwards. In the top right corner, we have our mage. We finished our knight, and then now we're going to work on this little fella down here in the corner. Move that. All right. So, let's do a new layer. Turn that down a bit. Alright, and I may need to drop the size of my pen down just a little bit. I made the mistake of not raising this, or expanding the size of my canvas before I started streaming, so I am a little bit pixelated, but we can kind of fix that. Sorry, this is bothering me right here. Let me correct this. We can fix that later on by adding a little bit of a blur to the image, which I was already intending on doing so. But yeah, it's a little bit pixelated up close. Like if you get real close like that, you can kind of see the pixelation to it, but we're just gonna keep on moving forward. So let me add this new layer. Let me go ahead and make this into a group. I'll delete that one. All right. Moving on, let's go ahead and draw this guy who is calling out something in the distance. We don't know what it is. It could be a dragon. We don't know. He doesn't look scared enough for it to be a dragon, so or maybe just like, hey, this is where we need to go next. Alright. So, let's go ahead and draw. Let's get started with the facial features. Let me go a little bit smaller. Little bit smaller. Quit snapping. Stop it. There we go. I think that's going to end up being a little too small. Okay, snap. There we go. Nah. I want to definitely have a different look to his face, but I may end up, I think I can, I'll add those details in once I start adding the color in. So, moving on. A little bit broader square face rather than kind of the average like anime just narrow jawline. Give him a little bit of a wide chin. Sorry, headphones falling out. I don't think that ear replacement's going to work, so we're going to move that. I think that will work. Let's get some of that hairline in. It's going to give him short hair. Keep things real simple since he's tucked away in the background. It looks pretty jagged and pretty wonky, but that's just because it's really pixelated. Like I said, we'll fix all that by adding a slight blur to the image, and it will kind of blend those pixels together, make it look a lot smoother than what it is now. But he's also in the background, so he's not our focus. He is a portion of the focus, but he's not the main focus. Let me do another layer for the eyes in case I need to change something out. We're gonna give him real simple eyes, and we're gonna give him larger eyebrows. I need to have a little bit more of an arc in the eye on this one. There we go. Eyelid and a bigger eyebrow. No, I don't like that. Backtrack. There we go. And we'll move this forward. So when you're drawing eyebrows, you don't have to go direct, like if it's a face forward, like straight towards the camera, then yeah, put the eyebrows right above. But you gotta remember that the eyes are set inside the skull, so your eyebrows are actually gonna sit a little bit forward from the eyes when you're drawing something at 3/4 or at a complete profile picture. Did I just cut out again? Don't tell me I just cut out again. Tell me I got through that entire break and it didn't cut out. But now as soon as I'm back, it's gonna start cutting out. Whoop. I gotta remember I'm super zoomed in, so I can't just like quickly zoom out. You see what I mean by like, that's why I want to have it on the eyes on a different layer, because I don't really like how they're sitting. Let me do this. Let me duplicate it. And let me hide this right now. I'm gonna rotate this one because that's gonna match up more with the angle of the head. At least in my opinion. This kind of just fit a little bit better. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the opacity of this one, and I'm gonna bring this one back. And I'm gonna erase it and basically just trace over that line, those lines I just had. So that way that's not that blurred, moved image or moved line look. If we move that, that's a little bit off, but let's see. Curve that in, which that may get cut off by his fingers, and the iris is just a little bit too big. A little bit too big. And let's bring this down. Did that go too far? No, I think that'll work. I think that'll work for now. We're gonna move on. Moving on! So now we can delete that layer since that was our blurred layer. And let's draw the mouth. I may need to redo this. Here we go. Okay. So, again, same thing. Because I had to rotate it because we're so zoomed in right now, let me get rid of this. Get rid of the layer behind it, and I will trace over. I still got a little bit of line there. Drop this down. And we'll go back over it one more time. Go, and now I can delete that. Yeah, I may need to bring it up just a little bit, just a smidge. There we go. All right, and then we'll add some stubble to make him look a little bit more gruff and tough. Take a swig of coffee first. All right. Now let's Let me go ahead and combine these layers because I think I'm good with that for now. And if I need to, it won't be that hard to actually adjust things. All right, so I'm kind of dreading drawing the hand right now. I'm debating just biting the bullet and going for it, or just drawing the rest of the body and coming back to the hand later. Because it is kind of like at a weird angle. It's not like a terrible angle, but trying to figure out that. Let's just go for it. Let's go for it. Let's say screw it, and we'll just see what we can do. So pinky, ring. I think with the placement of it, I can get away with doing more just straight fingers rather than having to deal with each segment of the fingers, like if it was really up close. I think that's fine. I don't think that's terrible. Again, it's not about having every single detail put in place. It's just enough for you to see from a wide view that he has his hand up and he's trying to tell him about something. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to tell the whole story. We're not trying to tell you what type of gloves he's wearing. We're just trying to tell you that, hey, I'm shouting at you. We're still going to draw the gloves that he's going to be wearing, but that's not the main focus. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Let me separate those fingers a little bit, spread them out. Narrow the fingers out just a little bit more and get rid of that rounded cartoony look of a finger. And I think I'm good with that. I think I'm okay with that. So now that the hand is out of the way, we got to draw the rest of the arm. But because I already shifted things around a bit, I'm going to make a new layer and I'm going to follow the same contour line that I had for the previous, like before I shifted a little bit forward. Which I could probably move it back, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's see. I'm gonna come back to that. I feel like once I get the rest of the body down, it's gonna kind of fit a little bit more in my mind. Even though I have the whole line right there, I'm not gonna work on it just yet. I'm gonna jump onto a different piece. So on my new layer, let's just go ahead. I'm gonna hide the hand. I'm gonna hide the hand for a little bit, and we're gonna add this big scarf that he has, that he's wearing. And it's a big, big fluffy scarf. Fluffy, big, thick, however you want to refer to it as. I don't think a knight would wear a fluffy scarf. He'd probably wear a big puffy scarf, though. Alright, let's see. So that's done. Let's see, let's add the make sure that we bring up the chest piece for the sternum. Get our trim line. Come up a little bit. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add a little bit of edge lining, a little bit of edge lining to it. Just kind of fit the shape a little bit better than just leaving it completely blank. It'll also give me something to think about, like once I come back to actually color this, like, oh yeah, I wanted this to be a hard edge. Because I may have it in my mind now that I want to do it, but I may not remember it a couple hours, if not the next day, whenever I continue on with this. So anyway, side tangent. Done. We're going to move on. Same thing like before, the shirt that he's wearing, or the tunic, is going to be scrunched up, and he's going to be wearing 2 belts. So the one belt that's holding up his trousers, and the other belt that is holding up his sword. So, hang on, am I backwards on this right now? There we go. Now I remember, it's supposed to be a big buckle. That's what I was supposed to be doing. And I'll come back and I'll erase this once I come and actually draw the sword. But for right now, we're just going to leave this here. It's not supposed to go that far. I think I need to kind of have this taper off and be a little bit more narrow on the other side. So I'm going to draw the leather loop, or the leather tongue? What would you call that? The end of a leather belt. Would it just be the end of the leather belt? Or does it adopt a new name once it's past the buckle portion? We'll just add that, which actually, you know what, those will matter because they're going to be covered up by the second belt. Alright, so he's going to have these big plates of leather, of like thigh protection. And these, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on. We're just going to get that overall shape down. Curve that in because they are going to be baggy pants. Get those straps on. Erase our mistakes. Ooh, I just realized I'm way off. Okay, I'll adjust that. I'll finish this off right here, not right there. And I think I actually need to fix this because it's not really matching up with how the other side would appear. I think I need to come up more. And that needs to not be rounded or inset. It does not need to have a divot to it. It needs to be more straight. Let's see. How am I feeling about this right now? I need to bring this in for sure, because that's where his actual leg would be at. And I just realized that the leg is really super wide compared to the other one. But we can fix that by simply jumping over here, cutting this in half, and moving it forward. He kind of looks a little bit stiff now. So, let's see. Maybe, just maybe, let's just spread a little bit of a wider stance. Bring that up, and then now let's clean up our lines. But the leg still looks a little bit wide, so I'm going to cut this one in half and I'm going to move it outward. There we go. Clean up the lines and reconnect the lines that we cut in half. And I'm also going to adjust the straps down here because they don't match up now. And I need to actually bring it up a lot more. So one there. And one there. How about that? Does that look good? No, it does not. Let's go ahead and chop this out and we'll bring it up. Erase that and bring the leg out. I think I'm still at a funky angle with it, so I may need to adjust it again. I do. I definitely do. Alright. I think I'm good. I think I need to bring the top portion of this piece up. Kind of match it up a little bit more with the other side. There we go. And bring that strap in about right there. And we'll go ahead and leave that clothing fold. Alright. Again, because we're so close in on it, that's not going to be relevant details in these final images. But we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. It's kind of taking away from the form of it just a bit. Okay. I'm good with that. I am okay with that. Alright. So now, let me make another layer. We'll draw this arm over here. And kind of the same thing as the armor on the previous night, we're going to add that, like, stacked armor piece to, but not to the same extent that it was up here on this one. This is going to be a little bit more subtle, like it's almost like it's light armor. Let's see, and we're also going to add a little bit of a trim to it. How about that? Okay. And add a little bit of shape to that, so that way it doesn't look like it's just a straight line. Okay. I'm cool with that. I'm good with that. That works for me. Alright, so then let's go ahead and take care of the sword. Another dreaded portion of this that I'm not wanting to do. Not as bad as the hand. I'd rather draw a sword than a hand. Let me just go ahead and get the form of it done, and then I'll come back and I'll add those leather straps to it. Go ahead and round that out, and we'll add our straps. We'll add just a little bit of deviation to the shape of the sword, so that way it's not just a straight handle, which that looks horrendous. We're gonna undo that. I think I need to make the pommel a little bit smaller. So let's just go ahead. Let's get the shape down. Make it a little bit smaller. And I think my placement's a little bit off. I definitely think it's a little bit off. So let me select this. We'll move it forward. And I think that's good. Let me add my lines, which being at that angle, rather than them looking like slanted lines going down, wrapping around, they're going to kind of be a little bit more flat at this angle. So now let's add a little bit more. Let's go in to the lines. We're just going to erase a little notch on the side. And you can't really tell on the side because there's additional content behind the actual sword. But if we do that, we're gonna leave that there. That'll all blend together. Alright, so let's see. Okay, moving on. And so these are gonna be more at an odd angle. Let me get the handguard in place first. Then we gotta have a little bit better of an idea of what I'm trying to attach to. See, like right there, I'm already at an odd angle. That's not what we want. So I'm gonna move this. Let's see, can I do that? And can I chop the edge? Give me 1 second. Let me do the other side. Let me do the other side so I got a little bit cleaner view of it. Because I don't want it to be a circle. I don't want it to be a circle at all. I want it to have that like flat look to it, just like that. That's what I'm trying to go for. So let me come back and blend that in. And I'm going to see if I can just copy, flip and rotate. Maybe not that. Definitely not that. But if I do it like this, and I expand it just a bit, I can use my distort to kind of play with the shape of it and get that flat metal look that I want. And I think if I shrink it down a bit and move it forward, I think that'll be it. So now what I can do is I can drop the opacity of this. I'm going to go ahead and hide the rest of my image. I'm going to make a new layer. And let's just go for that shape. And then we'll do the edge of it. And we just need to cut in right about there. Nah, I'm not feeling that. Okay. So now that I've got the other image in place, I've had the other section of the image invisible, I can kind of play around a little bit more. Let's see. How do I want this to look? Not like that. Why are you doing that? I would appreciate it if you stop doing that. Why are you snapping? I don't know why you're snapping. Nope. Okay. I think that'll do. So let's try that method again. Let's drop the opacity a little bit more. I don't know where that was at. That may have been, that might have been the face layer. I think it might have been. Nope. What is that? Oh. A super tiny pixel is what that was. Alright. Not that much. Get a little bit crazy with it, and is that gonna be what we want? Nope, not that much. I think we're just gonna have to stick with that rather than fiddling with the perspective here the entire time. Let me shape this a bit, and I think we're just gonna go with that. We're gonna roll with that. We're gonna go ahead and blend that in with our other layer. We're gonna merge it, not blend it. And because again, this is gonna be the small section of the image, we're not gonna worry about the details too much. We're still gonna add them because I want to, but we're not gonna fixate on them. Let me draw the scabbard first. Let me get the shape of the scabbard down so that way I'm not trying to fight against a ghost image. I actually know what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to fit inside. And that will work there. So now I can come back to this layer, and I still may need to come back and adjust things. Let's see. I may need to play with my angle on the scabbard. I think I need to go back a little bit more. I think I need to kind of make the top a little bit more broad. And let me drop the opacity of this. We'll do the same thing.
So now we kind of have that shape. I'm not really feeling the cluster that I just put around this, so let's drop that. And I just want to put this here so I kind of have a general idea of the top placement of the sword. Because what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of a metal ring, just kind of like the stopper for the sword. But then again, if I bring that up, I can get it to work. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna have to select this and the other layer because I really wasn't paying attention. I put those both on the same layer. I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to add a little bit of a notch where this one part of the sword actually sticks out at. Let's go on ahead and erase that portion. Okay, so now we kind of got the inset portion. Now we can have the sword trailing off, or the scabbard trailing off. I probably don't need it to be that wide. I can probably come into about right there. And then we'll have it drop down and we'll add another metal piece down here at the end. So then what we also need to do is, so first off we can delete that layer, we can merge these two layers together and we'll make a new layer. Let's go ahead and bring our image of our second knight or rogue, if it's that type of party. I'm gonna bring this belt down. Yep. Go, and I'll erase this section right here, and I'll come back and clean up my lines in just a little bit. So now let me put the leather wrapping around. Kind of same thing as before. I don't want it to look completely flat, so I'm going to add that little bit of bump to it. And then I want this little small section of belt that goes around the rest of his body, that kind of holds, kind of implying that it's holding the sword belt, or the scabbard belt, however you want to call it, in place. So that's going to be kind of curving around, and we'll give it a little bit of a notch on the end, so that way it looks like it's actually wrapping around it. Okay, so now let's go back to our body layer. And we're going to erase the portions that we do not need in our image. If I can actually pay attention to what I need to erase. So I don't need any of this. I can get rid of all this. Let me get rid of that. Now let me go to the belt layer and I will do the same thing over the sword. I'll clean up any lines that I do not need. I need to go back to the body layer and erase this. And there we go. Now we have kind of a little bit more of an idea of what's going on back here. So if we zoom out, it kind of just, adds that little bit of detail to it. But I do think I want to expand the scabbard just a little bit. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna do that. Maybe I just want to make it longer, so it may just trail off the image. I don't like how I just made those lines look so bad. So let's see, how about if I just distort it? Nope, not gonna happen. Alright, just bring it back down. Add a line, and add a final line. And I think that's fine. There's a little bit of a wave to it that I'm not too thrilled with, but I think it will work out. Okay, so what next? I gotta draw the other arm. Alright, so let's bring our hand back into place. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hide the torso and the hand, and I'm just going to draw the arm. I'm going to go ahead and use a second layer for this. So, let's change up the design here a little bit and kind of give him like a little vambrace covering his forearm. Just something a little bit, just enough to show some detail. Just enough to show that we care. Add some straps, some folds, and the sleeve that the hand will be coming out of. Okay, so now let's jump here, add the elbow, and now that I know where that's at, I can come back, erase that, add some volume. I'll have to go ahead and be fine. Again, this is in the background, so it's not a big problem if we don't add a whole bunch of details. Let's see. Sorry about that. All right. So we may need to add a little bit more of a sleeve kind of coming out. I think that's looks a little too narrow. I think the sleeve needs to be a little bit more baggy. I think that'll be fine. All right, let me make a new layer, and I will work on the shoulder pieces. And give it a little bit of trim. And there we go. I think that's good, just like that. And I'll go ahead and just, no, you know what? I'm gonna make that edge just a little bit thicker, so that way I don't have to worry about drawing another strap, or forget about coloring another strap. And that his forearm looks like it might be a little bit too thin. So that's, oh, wrong layer. Bring back my selection and select it. I think that will do. So now I just got to come back and I got to clean up these lines. Okay. And fix that, add another fold, connect the lines that we separated. And I think that's good. Okay, so now I can bring the hand back and I can get the hand, I can get the hand more in line with the rest of the body. So now if I do that, I select these two. If I want it to be a little bit more forward, if I want it to be a little bit more drop down, I can do that. And select all the layers that I was working on, not that one. I'm fine with the other side, but I want this one too. Let me bring my other layer back. Now if I move this one, okay, if I do that, if I bring the hand down, I think that will work. So now let's come in and let's erase the lines that we do not need. So I need to erase the scarf over the rest of the body, or the rest of the arm. And then I need to connect the lines that I didn't have previously. And we're gonna go ahead and give him some fingerless gloves. Just add a little bit more effort in there. You know, effort, and I just made them the most basic, uninteresting fingerless gloves. Okay. So I think I want to add a little bit more fold to this sleeve. And I think that's actually plenty right there. Gonna come back to my torso layer. Just connect that line, and I think that will wrap it up for this character. of just need to add a little bit more. A little bit more. All right. I think that's good. I think as far as line art or the base line art, I'm gonna come back in and add some like some small minute details to it. Just kind of like make the line art pop a little bit more. Because if I come in and I hide this, that's kind of bland. It's not terrible, it's a starting point, but there's a little bit more detail that I want to add on top of it to kind of make the line art pop a little bit more. So, let's see. So I've got our knight in the back, our knight in the middle, and our mage up front. I'm going to go ahead and make another layer, and this is going to be my line art accent layer. So what I'm going to do with these is anytime I come in to a little section, let's see. So like just right here, for example, this little gap right here, we're just going to fill that in. We're going to go around, and we're going to, like, you can already kind of see that it's altering the image. It's placing shadows in your mind that aren't there, but it adds that depth, and that's what we're trying to go for. We're trying to add that little bit of depth that's going to make it that much more interesting. So even like right here, so rather than going in and doing that on the coloring layer and spending this time of like trying to blend your blend your shadows or your highlights in places that just don't really make a whole bunch of sense, you can kind of just, you know, skirt by that process if you do something like this. And even all this back here, we can completely color this in. Like, this does not have to be colored. This can all be line art back here, or line art. That's a little bit of an extreme. I'm sorry, I keep zooming out way too much. That's a little bit of an extreme, but you kind of get the premise of it. This adds that like black and white comic book effect to your image. So we're just gonna go through. I'm gonna redo this because I'm not too thrilled with that. So I don't want to have too big of a brush because I still want to be able to put details in. Because you can also add in like volumetric accents to the image with this method. So like if I wanted, just for a quick example, if I wanted to add kind of like a line art shade instead of doing color shading, if I wanted to, I could come in and I could add all those, like the hair shadows. Just for a quick example, I'm gonna undo this here in a moment. But you can kind of get an idea of like the method that I'm going about. So you see, it adds that like really punchy black and white look to the image. But we're not going to do that on that. We're going to do something like that, but we're not going to do that specifically. But anyway, so something like that on a really large surface, I still want to have the color. I don't want to do just black and white line art, but something more small like this that I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of time on. I don't really care all that much at that point. So for this, I'm gonna do a little bit more subtle. And now you see, if you look right here, that's kind of like a lot of black that's just all bleeding in together. So I'm just gonna erase a little bit so that way there is a kind of like a little bit of a division there, so it kind of looks like you're still looking at something. That, or let me go ahead, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna undo that, and I'm gonna make the shadows on this side a lot smaller than what they are. So I'm gonna actually do this because this is the section that I want to have more shadow on. And I can make this, if I decide, yeah, you know what, I don't really like how this looks, later on I can change, I can add, because I did it on another layer, I can add a clip masking to it, and I can change the overall layer color of it. So if I'm doing something and I want that to look more like a deep dark blue color, all I gotta do is add a clipping mask to it, and it completely changes the whole look of it. So working with layers is fantastic. But I don't want to get super, super deep into these deep, deep dark shadows. I don't want to do that. So even like up here, kind of in between the hairs in the forehead, where those crevices just become a little bit more of a nuisance to try to like color in, it's something that you can use to kind of skirt by. I think I just undid something too, but I'm not sure what it was. So that, I'm not going to put that one there because it's kind of like, it's a bigger split, so there's going to be more light coming through there. See, like right here, we're going to add that. And that might be too much. So I'll take my erase tool and I'm just going to put a little bit of a divot in there. Just like that. So like, this is a really great example. So back here on the hat, where you know you're not gonna have a crazy amount of detail going on, that's a spot that you can put in one of these bigger shadows to really show the depth in there. And then, so like down here on the ear, we're gonna add something there. We'll add a little bit of a shadow here. And we'll put something here, kind of show that it's splitting. Here, we'll go ahead and add a little bit. Although, let's see, let me go back to, and I probably need to layer it and I need to label these groups so I actually know what I'm doing. I'm probably not going to, but it's something I should do. There we go. Okay, moving on. So up here, we'll add some there. We'll add a little bit there. We'll add a little bit there to show that it's curving over. And you can already see just those few lines is really making that line art pop. It's pushing it more and it's giving it more contrast so your eyes are more drawn to it. So you can use this method to really draw attention to a specific part of your image. If you're not 100% confident in your coloring abilities to be able to draw somebody's attention to a specific spot, add more contrast to this, and that's going to draw people's attention more. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to add some shadows in here. I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow kind of bubble here. Let's see. I think that's fine there. How would this look if I colored all that in? Not too bad, but I think I'm gonna avoid doing that. I think I'm gonna add some actual coloring into that. Let's see. Can I add something here that adds to it? That kind of all just, maybe if I just do it a little bit more subtle, that will make it look a little bit more cohesive. Maybe, kind of, I don't know. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna leave it just like that. So even like here, if I wanted to, just kind of blend that all together. It thickens the line art of the neck, that it adds to it, but it doesn't take away from it. And it doesn't like, it doesn't bulk it up to where it looks like, oh, this is all just one big blob of ink. So I'm also gonna add something here, because this is the portion of the hair that starts to move behind the character. So it's gonna be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find the right word for it. Don't want to get too close to the eyelash, because I do want to have the eye line completely visible. I think I'm going to add a little bit more right here. Okay. So there we go. Just that little bit of extra line art or coloring. I don't know. Blackening. I'm not sure. The inking. I don't know what you want to call this method. But just that alone can really bring out your line art and make it stand out more than just completely flat. So if we hide this, it doesn't look bad, But that adds a little bit more interesting aspects to it. So, with that being said, I'm going to add just a little bit more right here. Okay. Moving on, let's jump down to the robes. Or robe. I said robes like it was going to be multiple robes, but it's just one. And we're just going to put these in kind of strategic places to show really, really deep shadows. Interesting. Hello, spicy fruit salad. It's good to see you again. How are you today? This is your first time seeing my art stream. Hello! That's not bad. I'm okay with that. I think I can live with that. Doing all right. Yep, it's the first art stream. So let me zoom out and you can actually see the whole image. This is the image that I'm working on. And you're doing all right? That's so good. I'm really happy to hear. Oh, come on. You write stories, don't you? You're creative. You're artsy. It's just a different form. Plus, you can always learn. You can always learn. It's never too late to learn how to be creative. I think that might be too big of a shadow in the back. Let me cut that a little bit. Cut it down some. Different kind of art, like how else can I torture this character? Well, that's writing. Like, it sounds demented, it sounds bad, but I mean, if you're writing a story, you're telling a story that, hey, something bad's gonna happen to these characters. Even in this drawing, you can tell, hey, there's something about to happen. This dude sees something off in the distance. There's danger over there. Or it could just be like, hey, the dude took the cart. So, you gotta pick and choose your battles. Let's see. My mother-in-law is a painter, so I'm always bragging about her artwork. That's fantastic. You see, right there, you have an artist in your life. You can ask her, hey, can you show me how to do this? Or you can always do the tried and true method of just watching a Bob Ross video on YouTube and following along. I do that digitally whenever I can't think of anything else. I'm like, hey, let me try this. Hey, we got pizza if you want some. I would love to have some, but I unfortunately can't have regular pizza. I gotta try to make it without any rice, wheat, or grain in it. But thank you so much for the offer. I just realized that this is bumping out a little too much for my liking. Oh, joking, like, oh yeah. Yeah, hey, we got pizza! Well, now I'm sad. I thought you were offering me a slice of pizza. Let's see, maybe not there. I think that would take a little too much away from the actual line art. Probably not right there. I think it's gonna take away too much. Well, it's a good thing I didn't, since you can't have any anyways. Yeah, I've got a handful of food allergies. It's all good. I've found workarounds. I've learned how to make my own pizza. I've learned how to make my own ice cream. I've learned how to make my own Alfredo. I've learned how to make a lot of things. I actually really love spending time in the kitchen. I really enjoy cooking. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of like blast through adding these shadows, these little extra line art inking, just to kind of speed things up. Because I would like to make at least some progress on the coloring in this stream. If not this one, then definitely the next one would be the coloring portion of this stream. Of this piece, not stream. Yeah. Art streams are a completely different vibe than my gaming streams, huh? Very, very laid back, very mellow. No food allergies. Me and my dog are both dealing with allergies. Ooh. You're talking about like pollen in the air and seasonal allergies? Let's see. I'm going to add that there so that way it actually looks like there's some spacing. I'm not sure what he is allergic to yet, but my dermatologist says I'm allergic to ibuprofen. Ooh, that's not a good one. Which I find very annoying. Yeah, I think his are seasonal, but he is chewing his feet and he has a rash on his belly. Oh man, he didn't get into any poison ivy, did he? Is he an outside dog or an inside dog? Let me do that. I'm gonna leave that there. So this is another section that I can make a really large shadow in because there's not gonna be any detail back there. It's just gonna be shading whenever I get to the coloring. So you see? Let's see. He's an inside dog, but he had some problems last year too. Oh man. What type of diet do you have your dog on? Is he just eating like regular dog food from the store? Do you have him like? I know some dogs can't eat grains, like that can irritate their stomach, and that can be a whole line of different other issues. Like I've had to put my dogs on an all-natural diet because that's kind of what was happening with them. So we were buying just the dog food from Tractor Supply, and they were fine with it. They enjoyed it, but they kept getting sick, and they kept having problems. Like you said, they kept having rashes, and they kept gnawing on things. And so we were like, okay, let's dig into this a little bit more. And we, because my family is actually allergic to wheat, rice, and grain and all that kind of stuff, we were thinking like, okay, well, we know how it makes us feel, so let's try and get the dogs off of it. And lo and behold, our dogs stopped acting like that. They stopped gnawing on themselves. They stopped getting rashes. They actually lost weight. So anyway, just one bit of food for thought, no pun intended. Let's see. So his brother sees the same vet and he has the same problem. Ooh, he isn't on grain-free food, but he is on lamb and rice. We thought it was chicken at first, but it already cut that out and that wasn't it. Okay. Let's see, there was another one. Sorry, I missed that. And we took him to the vet, and the vet went to look at something and said that he has another black German Shepherd, same birthday, from a breeder in Michigan, where we got him. Okay. Interesting. You know what? I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind, and if I can come across something, I'll reach out to you, and I don't know, maybe y'all can try that. But I really hope things turn around. And I hope your dogs start feeling better. Let's see, I think my music did I get to the end of that playlist? Dang, that was a long one too. Okay, take it from the top. So I don't want to add too many deep shadows, because again, I don't want it to look like because I am going to be adding color. I don't want it to be too bad. Let's see. Well, so it's genetic. We know that. We considered buying one of the doggy allergy tests for him. Huh? May work out. You may be able to find something from it. Thank you. Yeah, so here I can actually start adding a little bit more definition. And you can kind of see the overall shape. Like, it's supposed to look like tassels. tassels hanging from a sash. So kind of like what I mentioned earlier with the wrapping around the scabbard, I could spend all day long just going line, and it wouldn't look bad, but it's not what I'm going for. My mother-in-law is all flowers and birds and stuff. LOL, very colorful stuff. Oh, that's cool. So, hang on. I'm sorry. Earlier you said she does painting. Is that right? She does painting. So like canvas and acrylic paints, or watercolors, or is she just kind of like a variety of different styles and mediums? I could see there being certain art with that much light. Yeah. Yeah, she does canvas and acrylics. That's awesome. I've been trying to get back to doing traditional painting. I just haven't. Down here, I'm just going to make a couple little accent pockets of shadow rather than getting super detailed into it. Which I may, you know what? I'm not liking that. Let's see. She has some of her stuff licensed on puzzles and other things. That's really cool. I haven't gotten anything licensed. I've done a lot of commissions for people. I don't do any commissions now. But I have had some of my work in the newspaper, which actually by process of that, it was on the news for like 2 days, I think. And I've helped with designing logos for companies. I designed some t-shirts for this one little t-shirt company a handful of years ago. That didn't work out very well. That actually ended very badly. We're not going to get into that. But yeah, I've never had anything licensed like that. But I feel like that'd be pretty cool. That is true. I did do Julia's emotes, and there's a part of me that feels like I kind of need to update them. Shh, don't tell her. Yeah, so the way that I handle art now is I tried making it a career. I tried that. I tried doing the whole freelance artist thing. I tried doing my own t-shirt graphic design. I tried doing the whole shebang. And it drove me nuts, and I hated every minute of it. And I got to the point where I really didn't want to draw anymore. And there was about a year-long period where I never wanted to touch art because of it. So that took some like healing to get my passion back. So now the way that I handle art is I could still do commissions. I have a lot more confidence in myself as an artist now. I'm sorry, my sinuses are kind of building up. But I have a lot more confidence in myself as an artist now, but I don't want to get back into the like stress of doing commissions, because you're immediately pressed with deadlines. I have to go back and forth to try to figure out the design for the person, and they don't know what they want, I don't know what they want, and there's a whole bunch of back and forth. And most importantly, this is the biggest thing for me as an artist, I hate putting a price on my work. I really truly do. So for me, like, I would feel much more fulfilled and happy making art for somebody and just giving it to them. Like, I'm not saying I'm just giving out free artwork, because that's going to bring in a whole lot of people. Like, I choose who I want to give my art out to. So like with Julia, I didn't charge her for her emotes. And that was a blessing to me, because whenever I did those, I was evacuated for a hurricane. So I was trapped inside of a camper and I couldn't really go out and do anything. I mean, I could have, but I didn't know the area. I didn't really feel like getting out. I just, like, all the stress and the craziness of the hurricane, I was like, I need to get my mind off. I need to get my mind off. And that's whenever, like, Julia was kind of like, we were talking about doing some emotes.
And I was like, oh, hey, you know what? Cool, great, this is gonna work. And that's how that came about. I also did Supernova Relics emotes. And then there was one streamer years ago. Her account is still active, but I don't think she live streams anymore. I think she took a break from it. But it was Miss Ruby Falls. Phenomenal person, great, inspiring and uplifting person. Very, very positive attitude. I did her artwork, like she didn't even know that I was an artist whenever I did the illustrations for her. She was a big fan of Totoro, so I drew a caricature, or I say a character, it was an anime drawing, an anime portrait of her and Totoro together, and I sent it to her just completely random. And from that moment forward, I became the sole artist that she wanted to do Twitch graphics for. So anybody who's trying to get their feet wet in the whole art world, maybe do a couple free pieces, and you might actually be able to get some work in. That's how it worked out for me. It may not work out for you, but that's kind of my story of designing. I think art should be more of a gift rather than a product. A product gets forgotten. A gift is always remembered. Case in point with Julia and her emotes. Whenever I came back from my break, she remembered me. Let's see. You should have used a Julia emote for that. Used a Julia emote for what? I'm sorry I went on a little bit of a long tangent there. No, we're not doing free artwork. No. I will give artwork away to whomever I choose to. It's reasonable you gotta do art how it makes you happy. That is very true. And I am quite happy with how I do things. Alright. Sorry, that was a long tangent. If you're here for the art, I'm so sorry. Alright, let's see. Let's continue on. I'm still on that layer, and let's just continue. So with the mage kind of being the main focus in this illustration, that's where I'm going to bring most of the details to. Like, once I start, it's going to kind of dwindle down once I get to the character in the background. Let's see. Man, I should have used a Julia emote for that message instead of a cat. Oh, that's fine. I was just here to say hello. Well, I'm really happy that you dropped in to say hello. It was really good seeing you again. It was really nice being able to go on a rant to you. But I really hope that your dogs start to feel better. I really hope that you're able to find out whatever's making them feel icky. I also just realized that my monitoring shut down. Am I out of battery on my headphone? I might be out. Possibly. I think so. Let me swap my headphones real quick. That's how I'm monitoring my stream right now, which actually, it's doing pretty good, so I don't think I need to worry too much about it getting all screwy and wonky. I think it's actually working out pretty well. I'm gonna add a little bit here. So as it's moving down the image, I'm gonna start to move away from all these extra shadows. Like right there, I'm not too thrilled with it. Here, I can add that, and it will accent it just fine. Why did that just drop out? Am I losing frames? I don't think so. Alright. I'm not going to do something there because I already got enough shadows, but right here I can add something. And we'll go ahead and say right there too. And how about that? Right there. I think that's actually my internet because it was doing that earlier. Unfortunately. Yeah, because it's buffering on me right now. And I'm not sure why. I really have no idea why.
things should be running smoothly. Whoop. Let's see, did it pick back up, or is it still quite choppy? Okay, I'm hearing good monitoring back from my phone, so I think we're good. I think we're good for a little bit. So anyway, Peter, thank you so much for dropping in. I hope that the tech issues are done for now. But yeah, this is the full piece that I'm working on today. And I think I am still going to get to a decent stopping point. I think it just dropped out again. I think it just dropped. Nope. Okay. I'm sorry. It's really good, but it's not fiber. Yeah, I'm waiting for AT&T fiber to finally make its way to me. Once it gets back to that, I'll be so happy. Anyway, we're gonna get to a decent stopping point. We'll finish out the inking on this character here, and then we'll do a little bit, kind of get the process started on the second character. We might actually be able to get it done before the next, like, you know, tech dropout. Anyway, so we're just gonna move on and hope for the best. Cross your fingers. If my palm could stop moving the canvas. But yes, I would like to try to actually wrap up properly. I don't want to just end the stream and be like, oh, well, it's not working. I want to actually do right for y'all and not just cut out. But Peter, how are you doing today? Assuming you're still here and you didn't get disconnected. Also, spicy fruit salad. I saw that you streamed too. I think I clicked on your name on Julia's last stream. So, do you live stream? Or did I find another spicy fruit salad? I just heard it drop out again. I've done the not proper wrap up, but for my sanity, there is only so many tech issues I can handle. Just do writing and reading category? Nice. Yeah, I can only handle so many tech issues, but I don't want to just do it. Yeah, it was me. I saw you follow. Yeah, I did. Okay. So, let's see. Gonna do a little bit more. Okay. So let me do that. I'm gonna go ahead and make another layer in case I do need to actually change the colors of these shadows later on. And we're gonna add a little bit to our second character here. Maybe not up there, not right there, because that's gonna be in mostly lit areas. And I don't want to put a whole bunch on this one. Let's see. So I do 25 riding sprints on Thursday, and usually Saturday is actually usually right now. But I canceled stream today because it's my anniversary. I'll not be hanging out here so much longer. Oh my gosh, you need to go and enjoy your anniversary. What are you doing here watching me? I appreciate you dropping by, but you need to go enjoy your anniversary. But happy anniversary. Let's see. I don't want to put a whole bunch of details on the hair back here. I'm gonna put a little bit, but not a whole bunch. Let's see, we went out once today, had to come home to take the doggo out, and now we'll be leaving. Got caught up chatting. It's all good. I really appreciate you dropping in, and I hope you have a fantastic anniversary. Add a little bit of a division in the shadow right there. It's the tiny details, but they do make a difference. They do. But just for example, a lot of the details down here on this character is probably going to end up getting blurred out later. But I got to do that for my own sanity in my mind, in my creative mind. I have to do that. I'm trying to get better with it, but it doesn't happen all the time. I don't want to put too much. I'm not gonna get super crazy with this. I will thicken the line down here. I really erased that part though. I'm not gonna argue with the artist. You do how it makes sense. I'm open to criticism. I'm not one of those artists that I'm like, oh, it's my way or the highway. If you can't take criticism, then you're never going to progress anywhere. Okay, I think I'm getting a little too much on this, but I will add just a little bit more up here, and then I'm going to force myself to stop. Oh, come on, you're a writer. You know aspects of creativity. You get to take critiques on your writing. Well, critiquing is good. Creative critiques, not constructive criticism, not just, oh, this is garbage. Like, if that's the type of criticism you're going to give me, I'm not even going to bother listening to you. But if you want to say, like, hey, if you're doing this, you may want to try doing this. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't really think that way. We laugh about it now. Hang on, sorry. My best friend will be reading it next, and it's so funny because we did a beta read together, and I read the critiques on this guy's writing, and she was brutal. We laugh about it now, and he was real happy with her critiques. But she said things like, I wouldn't even care if this character died. Oh gosh. Well, okay, there are times where there are characters like that where you don't like them. I know a handful of series that come to mind where I'm like, I don't like this character at all. I'm like, OMG, why did you say that? But basically I told her I know how she critiques, so she can't pull any punches when she reads mine. I mean, if you know what you're getting into, by all means. Like I said, I don't mind being critiqued. There's a lot of times where I'm sure I definitely need it, but again, like I would much prefer constructive rather than just straight brutality. If that's what it takes to get something through to me, then so be it, but she will be constructive. Awesome. Cool. Let's see. You know what? Yeah. Julia read one of my scenes the other day and gave great feedback. She's awesome. She is very helpful, and that's awesome. I'm so glad that she was able to help you out. I think I end up putting a little too much on the second character, but so be it. Okay, so we're moving down. Oh, I forgot to do stuff for the staff. Womp womp. Okay, just gonna do a little bit here on the boots, and I'll add some to the staff. I'll add a little bit right here. Let's see. I can only join for a second, sorry, but I just wanted to say hi. Say I fixed my name for you too. Okay, so you were here earlier. You're Mr. Guzzler, was that right? It's me from... Okay. Yes, I do remember you. But I do like the new name. You were fine with the other one, but I mean, if you want to change it. Let's see. It was a violin scene, so I got a few violin playing descriptions and some stuff wrong. Oh, okay. I have to get going. I will see you later. It's looking great. Thank you so much. I'll zoom out for you one last time so you can see the full picture. But thank you so much for hanging out and chit-chatting. Twitch didn't like it? Okay. I got you. But yeah, spicy fruit salad. I hope you have a fantastic anniversary. I hope your dogs start to feel better. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for dropping in. Hope to see you again sometime. Okay. Sorry, dude. Ours looking great. Have an amazing night. You too. Get some good sleep. Get some rest. Thank you so much for dropping in. Again, thank you so much for dropping in again. I hope to see you again next weekend. I hope to be live again next weekend. But yes, have a great night. I probably will not be spending much more time here on this stream. I think I'm going to get to a wrapping up point. I got a whole bunch of text earlier, so I'm sure that some of my buddies wanting to do something. Come to this one and clean up that line. Too much. Also because I had a handful of difficulties with the stream, so it kept dropping out. Okay. So I'm actually really pleased with the amount that I put on them. It's not a whole bunch where it's not. I'm like, I say that. It might be a little too much, but we definitely got more on our kind of primary focus is the mage up in the corner. I'm gonna do a little bit on Mr. Background, and then I think we'll be at a decent stopping point for today, and the next stream we'll jump into coloring and really bring this illustration to life. But until then, let's continue on. No, I'm not going to put the shadow on the nose. I'm not going to do that. This one, I'm going to try to just keep it very, very minimal, the amount that I put on. Not right there. That's not going to be in shadow. How's that look? That'll work out. Don't want to fill this character in with too much, where it really just kind of is more of a distraction. We don't want it to be a distraction. Add a little bit thicker line down here underneath the chest plate. Probably a little bit here underneath the scarf. And whenever, because I'm probably going to end up drawing the trousers on this character black. So whenever I go to do those colors and I do it more of a gray, that's going to be a lot less shading than I have to do to achieve the shadows on this background character. Because I'll be doing it in a lighter gray. I won't be doing it in a solid black. And then I could always drop the opacity of it if it's too dark of a shadow. Let's see. I probably won't add much to the hair because I think I'm gonna save that for colors. Okay, so on that note, I think we're at a good wrapping up point for today. Oh, hang on, let me do a little bit to this wand or staff down here, if I can. I'm just gonna add a little bit more accents to it, not get crazy into it, just enough to make it look like we tried. And I think that's good, just like that. Okay. I think that's a good wrapping up point for today. I'm pretty confident that we'll do the background in a painted style rather than a line art style, because otherwise I'd be back there drawing every single brick and we'd be here for another several hours, which isn't a problem, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up right there. I don't think I need to add anything else to this. I think we're good for now. If anything, I may come up to the top next time and I'll extend the hangover of the hat. But I'm very pleased with how this turned out, and I can't wait to see it colored. Hang on. No, I'll hold off on that. I'll wait till next time. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for dealing with all the technical difficulties and the stream dropping out a handful of times. Thank you to everybody who followed. Thank you to, let's see, I'm sorry, Dude McCool21 for the bits earlier today. And thank you for everybody for coming and chatting very creatively with me.
I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed the art. I hope you enjoyed just listening to the coffee table jazz in the background. But that'll probably be it for this weekend. I don't know. We'll find out. I may get the hankering to stream again tomorrow, but there's a greater chance that I won't be. So more than likely it'll be next weekend. But I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching me just go on long rants about art and my creative process. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and I'll catch y'all next time. Let's go ahead and head it on out, because I still don't know how to do raids just yet. I'm sorry, I'll look it up. I'll figure it out for next time. But I hope y'all have a fantastic day. See y'all later.